Director Krennic.
Lord Vader.
As soon as you put him in a scene, that's all you want to see. It's like really hard to come back from that. You have to be really careful how you use him, because if you bring him in too early in the film, you sort of just want Vader for the rest of the movie.
The Rebel flagship is disabled, my lord, but has received transmissions from the surface.
Prepare a boarding party.
Suddenly your brain is exploding with not only our film, but the other film, which is about to come to life.
Open fire!
The door that Darth Vader comes through in A New Hope, I got to film. You know, as a fan, that was an incredible experience.
Launch!
I can describe it in one word. Goosebumps.
For the beginning of the film, he wanted everyone to be genuinely scared. He wanted something to come up with something more menacing.
Gerrera saw some paintings of Ralph McCord where he stylized the stormtroopers and made them very tall and very elegant. And we thought, okay, well, this could become our SEAL Team 6 version of the stormtroopers. I love those challenges where you're trying to create something new, but then it has to fit within the universe of Star Wars. So we just took a stormtrooper, thinned it up, painted it black to see if it would work. And it was actually really cool.
Jim, if you're listening, my beloved, so much of my life has been wasted.
He plays a very important part in her arc. He is a man who is a scientist. I think if you have an equivalent, it would be Oppenheimer, a man who invents something extremely powerful that can save the human species, but at the same time can do the exact opposite as well.
It's a heartbreaking idea of the father saying, I've been forced to do this terrible thing, and I can't do anything else, but now it falls to you, my only daughter, my only child, to put this right.
It must be destroyed.
I know. We will.
So for that reason, I thought it was a beautiful character by itself, and then it was slung into a Star Wars universe, so who can ask for anything else?
All right, so just be careful that lovely grate, sir. I don't know if you want to move over that way a little bit, so your head's away from the grate, sir.
Mads is absolutely tremendous. He's a father himself and actually has so many paternal qualities. It was so playful working with him. Every time I would see him, I would just shout, Dad, which I think was a little bit disconcerting, but it was the fact that he was on Jin's side. He's truly in her camp.
Saw Gerrera was a character that was in Clone Wars.
Saw is a long-standing Star Wars character who's inhabited the periphery of Star Wars storytelling for a while. He was an idea that came from George.
Because we came into Lucasfilm and found that George had already left some ideas behind, and we thought, well, God, what else could we do? It was Kiri's idea, actually, that it be Saw Gerrera, and that would further legitimize the story inside the stories that had already been told.
Saw Gerrera came to the rebellion early. He was an activist. He's frustrated. The Republic is in disarray and chaos. The Rebel Alliance hasn't really come together in the way that he thought it would.
We see him as a broken person, and you realize this is what a lifetime of fighting the Empire could turn you into.
Come on!
I grew up in Mexico. All my cousins were big fans of Star Wars, you know, and I'm the young one. And I remember they used Vader's character and idea to just scare me, you know. But then he became my favorite character, you know.
I was really looking for someone who had something else to offer rather than the default, this is what a leading guy is, you know, in terms of the cliche, especially in tough action roles. I'm not a fan of heroes that stand in the corner and just brood, and that makes them cool. And Diego gets high score for likability. You just want to be his mate the second you see him.
Gareth was always, since pretty early in the process, he said, "You are my choice." It felt fantastic. I was the happiest man in Mexico, probably.
I gotta admit, I mean, Cassian, I will always have a soft spot to have someone of his particular heritage on the screen. You know, my name's Pablo Hidalgo. Having someone like Diego Luna embody a Star Wars character is like, hey, we haven't really had that much before. So that's kind of great. I know we have a lot of fans in Mexico who do appreciate that.
Now, K2SO was a huge challenge. I mean, we knew that he was going to be a very iconic character, and we thought maybe it's a more serious version of C-3PO.
John's brief for K2SO was that he literally wanted a black protocol droid, or a, you know, kind of a black C-3PO.
Some of our earliest designs were just simply variations on C-3PO, and they weren't quite hitting the look. So we went back to sort of our safety net, Ralph McQuarrie. We went back to his sketchbooks. And he had drawn many versions of these very elegant robots, almost stylized, where they had very thin limbs. We explored many versions of that, using Ralph as a foundation for updating it. And I think the final version is a really unique take on it because it adds something very bold and very fresh. And I think in terms of designing for Star Wars, you need that. You need that boldness, you need that freshness.
I've got a bad feeling about it.
Quiet.
What?
There are times when what Alan needs to do are just a little too awkward or dangerous to do with the stilts. So in order to have his eye line at the right place, there's a backpack that's been rigged with a couple little poles and a cutout photo of K2's head.
If there's ever a time where I have to put that thing on, oh God, no. Here it comes. It's so awful. And then this telescoping head that comes out of the top, and it's just true, it's just a piece of poster board with a really rudimentary K2 face. I mean, this has come from ILM. Diego said, Alan, it's amazing how little respect you have on this set right now.
Because there's no way to respect this, you know? It's like if we were just witnessing the first science fiction film done
in elementary school.
Exactly.
One of the biggest physical differences between Alan and K2 is that K2 is about a foot, 14 inches taller than Alan. So you want the eye line to be in the right place. So most of the time, Alan is wearing these really wonderfully made stilts. And that puts his knees at the right place, puts his shoulder at the right place, puts his head in the right place.
And it always worked better and it transferred better if there was more of a personality in his movement. K2 walks down a hallway and is passed by another K2 model that's in the Empire and hasn't been freed by a reprogram like K2 was. He's like a soldier, and he's walking very perfectly and very straight and upright. And then K2 is kind of sort of loping along a little bit. I think that's what makes K2 a little bit more accessible and, gosh, I'm gonna say it, lovable.
I loved Riz Ahmed in Nightcrawler. And as we were looking for a character for Bodhi Rook, I made sure to throw his name in the hat. He did a few auditions for us. He kept cranking out different versions of Bodhi.
The security checkpoint is still manned. You said the alarm would clear them out.
Well, it should have. They shouldn't. If you had... can you just bluff your way through?
Riz filmed himself. He was in New York. Like, he did a little thing of, like, this is how Bodhi could be.
Ha! What did I tell you?
And then obviously then I started kind of, the obsession starts where you start sending, like doing 50,000 takes of something because you're left to your own devices.
Can you not just bluff your way through?
What?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a spy. Do your spy thing.
And then he was like, great, we've got what we need. But I didn't stop there. I just carried on recording more takes and just emailing him. I was like, screw it, I've got his email address now.
You're a spy. Do your spy thing.
He could be like this, or he could be like this, or he could be like this. And it was like, okay, anyway, you've got the part, and then got another like 8 clips saying all this, all this, all this, all this, all this.
Okay, what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I was like, okay, I've kind of totally screwed this up now. I'm like spamming the director.
I love the chaos. I love it. No! So the fitness, nothing compared to doing Rogue One. Every day there's some kind of assault course obstacle that we're given. There was a lot of rehearsal, a lot of preparation. We're trying to create a situation where being thrown off balance can produce something spontaneous, to make that feel as real as possible, to make it feel like, you know, that your heart's beating and you're actually in this situation. It's quite late in the day. There's been a lot of running around. Just gonna do some stretches.
Action.
It's been the most physical exercise I've ever done in my entire life.
The Star Wars universe is connected in many ways. Explore the deeper connections hidden in Rogue One.
May the Force be with us.
This droid is a practical puppet, operated by the same team that brought BB-8 to life in Episode 7, The Force Awakens. The turbo tank, designed by Joe Johnston, is one of the rare Star Wars vehicles with wheels. It was first used by the Clone Army in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Congratulations, you are being rescued.
K2SO was originally designed to be a black protocol droid.
Are you talking about me?
The first appearance of a TIE Reaper, designed by co-production designer Doug Chang.